I just got off of the bus from coming down here from Bangkok, and what I thought I would try is using Streamlabs OBS, Open Broadcast Studio, on my phone, and then going through Restream, because in theory all I should need to do is take up, it says I'm taking up almost 4 megabits a second streaming from my phone right now. As long as I go to the Restream server, then from there, in theory, this is going to, it's going to Facebook and YouTube and Periscope, along with Twitch, VK, DLive, I think all of those, the other, I think I chose 6 platforms, trying to see if this works. And Marty, let me first say, if you're watching this, I can sincerely apologize. This was not a scheduled stream, but what I'm doing right now is I'm just walking from the bus station, and to get the bus down here, it's 119 baht, which is about $4, less than that right now with the current exchange rate, I believe, of at least 31. So it's probably like 390, something like that. So, you know, nothing. And then I got off, and you can take a songthaew if you get one right there for 50 baht, which is silly, right? Considering I just took a 2.5-hour ride for $4. I'm not going to spend $1 something to, you know. And of course, you know, I've got the money, right? But the point is that I actually got off the bus, and I was like, oh wow, it's a little chilly. Which, again, it's all relative. And I apologize if anyone is chatting right now. I thought what I did is put the chat box in the right-hand corner of my screen, but I don't see anything. So I apologize if I'm not responding to anybody. I'm going to try and cross the street here without causing any harm to anybody. Primarily myself, because, oh look, a cement truck. Yes, that was good that I avoided that. But anyway, so I got out and I said, oh, it's a little chilly. Meaning that it's below 80. Am I gonna walk? No, I gotta walk on the other side of the sidewalk. And the bus that I took is basically like that one right there. So it's, you know, it's a fairly nice coach. It's a 2-and-2, and I caught the 8 o'clock bus, 8 a.m. leaving Bangkok, and so because of that, on a Wednesday, or today's Thursday, sorry, there was very few people on it. So I had, you know, the seat to my left. The window seat was empty, so my bag accompanied that seat. And yeah, super easy ride. Right now it's 10:54 on my phone, and it took us basically 45 minutes from the time the bus backed up to essentially get out of Bangkok. And I would, if I had my fingers ready, I would do air quotes on that, because what I mean by that is just sort of the downtown traffic by the time we got to like the freeway, or the expressway, or the roadway. This is going to be a little loud as I walk past this. So I apologize for that. But anyway, get over this water. There we go. But I'm walking down Pattaya North Road, if you know anything about Pattaya. And it's sunny, but it's actually, it's nice. I mean, it's warm, and the sun is very warm. But again, if any of you know me, you know that's why I moved here. This is the weather I like. And I took off my pants. I took off the from the knees down. It's one of these zipper pant things. I got it, I want to say Adventure 21, but that's not right. Anyway, I got it at one of those adventure stores that sells overpriced outdoor gear in San Diego. So, and these are actually really good. They're lightweight, and they're great for travel, because this bus actually was not freezing cold. Occasionally the buses will be freezing cold, as are the movie theaters around here. But anyway, I'm walking because I'm like, well, it's not such a bad walk. Now, literally, I could like stop on the side of the road right here, and I could just wave my hand as a songthaew comes by. But as a my crap, I'm walking on holiday. So that was pretty nice. The guy obviously, I mean, you know, he's a taxi driver, right? So he wants to give me a taxi ride. So let me not get hit and die. Cool, there we go. So, so if you're ever worried about transportation, actually, if you're in Pattaya, it's never a concern. There's always a motorbike taxi driver somewhere, and they have, I think they have Grab. I haven't used, oh yeah, no, they do. But there's songthaews everywhere, and so I could just get one of those for 10 baht, or approximately 30 cents. And it would take me all the way down, essentially, to the beach. And then from the beach, I would basically take another songthaew that would take me down approximately 5 blocks because I'm on Soi 5, or Soi Ha, which is where my hotel is. And I'm down here to meet with friends. There is a conference that I'm attending. Initiative to underground all of that. Which really, if you think about it, isn't too bad. Because you can always, you know, get to it, right? And, you know, right now you're thinking, oh yeah, but it would be so great. Well, if it rains, you know, the water's got to go somewhere, and it certainly doesn't collect aerially, right? So if you put your cables up there, then there's a lot to be said for maintenance. But it also is arguably, by a lot of people's label, unsightly. So anyway, so I have this walk that I can do, and you know, I'll tell you, I really, really like the countries that at certain buildings, whether it's government buildings or tourist attractions or whatever, they put up a really, really huge flag. A really, really huge flag of their country. I think the first time I saw one of those was Mexico. And I can't remember where it was. I can't remember where it was when I was in Tijuana for the first time, or Mexico City, or Cabo, or something like that. But I was like, wow, that thing is gigantic. I think it was probably Tijuana, because I think that was the first time I was ever in Mexico, when I was coming from, when I was down there just doing some work on some FM transmitters. And so, to get there, we had to go through this like roundabout that was basically right in sort of the center of TJ to get up to the hill. But I was like, wow, this is really just massive, right? And then Thailand has one right there in front of Pattaya City Hall. I don't know if I've seen one in Bangkok or not. I'm sure there is one, but I'm gonna try and maneuver this without disrupting anything, of course. That's the main thing, but also to try and stay dry myself. So to give you an example of what's kind of going on, that's what they're doing. They're drilling. And again, it's, you know, if they were to continue down at that angle, right, obviously they're not going to get down to the end here, down at the end there. So they're going down and then horizontal to some point, but I'm not really sure what they're doing. But again, that's all part of the discovery, right? Now, I was on my phone for the most part coming down here on the bus, as you might guess, for my own personal entertainment. And so because of that, when I started doing this, my battery was at 53%. I assume streaming takes up more power than normal, because I was watching YouTube pretty much the whole time I was coming down here. And I also know that when I do this with my phone, even if I'm only recording video locally, the phone heats up, even on a cool day. And then there's the, there we go, that's a little better. The direct sun that I'm getting. Now, luckily, the body of the phone, for the most part, is white, but the screen, as you might guess, is black. And then, of course, I'm generating a significant amount of heat just by displaying the thing, so I can see myself, which is sadly not something I can really turn off when I'm broadcasting here through Streamlabs. Let me just say that I'm a huge fan of all of this open source software, completely free software that allows me to do what I'm doing. I mean, considering I was in commercial radio, commercial TV for years, none of that stuff is free. None of that stuff was free. So let me cross the street here. And the good news is that I'm recording this so you guys can see in the background if anyone's going to come up right behind me and hit me, which is not happening. So that's a very, very good thing. And also the street's very clear over here. So what I'm walking past right now is a giant mall, which is Terminal 21. Terminal 21, if you know anything about sort of, the cities in Bangkok, if you know anything about the city of Bangkok, you know that's been a pretty iconic mall up in Bangkok for years. And so I want to say this went live certainly less than 2 years ago. I can't remember exactly. I remember Kevin Thailand. I'll put a link to the video that once I upload or redo this in YouTube in post-production. I'll put a link to his video that he did when this thing was first getting started, when they were first breaking ground, before the plane was even here. But I like this Terminal 21. I'll tell you right now, compared to Bangkok, it's much better laid out because they didn't have to go straight up. They actually had some acreage where they could spread it out on the ground. But additionally, the food court is much better. The food quality is much better. And then once this guy gets by, then I shall be good. Look at this guy, totally awesome. Cop. Thank you very much. See, look at that guy. What a great smile. Totally awesome. So anyway, so this is it's a super mall. But basically, what this means is that I'm essentially now where I would be to catch my, where the songthaew would have let me off. And so, as you can see, the walk was hardly treacherous. And, kind of nice. I did forget to put my SPF 55 on, which is now a very default lotion that I apply to my scalp, and accompanying facial features for the most part pretty regularly in the morning. So you can see, so Terminal 21, obviously terminal, right? Meaning like airplane terminal. So you can see this is like sort of like the jetway. And they'll have inside, the way they sort of label things, the floors and the entryway, they'll label it with cities, right? So there'll be San Francisco and London and that sort of thing. And then the end, the where you enter, right? It's a gate. So anyway, so that's sort of the theme. And then once I get down here a little bit, I'll show you the plane that they have put in here. And with the exception of the engines, it's a pretty darn real fuselage, that's for sure. I believe they've shortened it a little bit. I cannot tell. I believe it's an Airbus. But anyway, we'll see once we get here. And here's what's funny: if you guys know anything about flying or anything, you know that these are the signs that are on the runway, right? You don't use these for the gates necessarily. So, and usually there'll be an R or an L. So, 03 right or 03 left for the various runways. So this is the plane I'm talking about. As you can see, it's like, it's real. And the first thing I think of, which is interesting when I see that, right, is Southwest Airlines. Isn't that funny? It's got a big, purple, and it's got the logo SCB on there. So Siam Commercial Bank, SCB, one of the larger banks here in Thailand. They sponsored that, obviously. So, and I'm about 2 blocks from the beach. So to give you an example of where I am, I'll just put my luggage here for a second. So that's Terminal 21 right there behind me. And then this is what's referred to as the Dolphin roundabout, simply because the very small, certainly from the perspective of the lens of my camera right now, statue in the center of this roundabout is there's 2 dolphins. but you can see Ozo and then the Holiday Inn right over there. The Holiday Inn, and then Siam is basically at the corner of 2nd Road and Soi 2 or Soi 3, I think. I can't remember. I think it's Soi 2. So anyway, so I'm about 2 blocks from the 2 blocks from the beach, and once I get down there, then it's just, you know, I walk up 5 sois. But I'm probably gonna stop, maybe have a coffee, hang out at the beach. I mean, it's only 11:07, so in theory, you know, I really shouldn't be checking into my hotel. However, it is a Thursday. They know me at this hotel, and I've stayed there probably 12, 13 times. I should have gone just then and crossed the road, although there's very little traffic right now. And I've heard that the whole tourism thing here in Pattaya is way down. Well, now, to be fair, I mean, it's almost March, right? So, you know, you're getting into low season. But additionally, you know, coronavirus and, you know, tourism is down in Thailand, blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, there's always tourism in Pattaya. Somebody come? And there's always safety in Pattaya, which is very cool. I will tell you right now that I find Pattaya and Bangkok, you know, in the midst of the fact that these big cities, to be some of the safest places in the world. I mean, I will tell you that there's a heck of a lot less chatter on the internet as it relates to Pattaya and Bangkok and that sort of thing about pickpocketing. Whereas if you Google Barcelona, then all you see is like, oh my God, watch out for the pickpockets in Barcelona. And I wasn't, you know, molested by anybody when I was there. You know, but that's the data that's on the internet. It's just like, you know, really all they need is one article on every single blog related to Barcelona and all it needs is just one sentence. Don't be an idiot. You put that on there and actually if people pay attention to it, then no one would get would get pickpocketed. But, you know, people are on vacation and they get lax, and I get it. Like, I've never done something stupid before, right? So yeah, so from the Dolphin roundabout right there, you can see that blue thing right there. That's a songthaew. Song meaning 2, the number 2, and then tao for row, 2 rows of seats, 2 basically bench seats that are in the back. And they'll sort of sit there on the edge back there until they fill up, ish, and then they simply begin driving down Beach Road. And they drive all the way down to the end of Beach Road. And you press a little buzzer, essentially on the roof, and they pull over wherever they can conveniently to as close to where you push the buzzer as possible. And then you pay them 10 baht. When it ends, you get off, and then you can hop on another songthaew, which will take you all the way to Jomtien. And that's what I've done before when I go all the way over there to Amazon, Cafe Amazon, or Amazon Coffee as it's referred to occasionally. I got some buddies I'm gonna meet this afternoon at, I believe he said, over at his condo at like 5:45, something like that in Jomtien. So yeah, this is pretty common in Thailand too. You'll get these archways of significance, meaning there will be obviously pictures, murals of the king, but there'll be, you know, a lot of gold and that sort of thing going over it. And I just think it's great. And you know, again, the U.S. has its own thing, right? And I'm glad we have our thing, and I'm glad Thailand has its thing, and the U.S. doesn't need to have the same thing as Thailand. But it's just really sort of neat that they have, you know, murals everywhere, right, of their king. And yeah, I'm not suggesting that it would make our country better if all of a sudden we have pictures of Donald Trump everywhere, or the current president. Insert president name here. I'm not choosing one over another. I'm just choosing the one that's currently our president. I have zero interest and zero opinion on politics. How's that? And I'm going to stop here, meaning I'm going to stop the broadcast here pretty soon. And again, if you've just joined or anything like that, I really apologize if you think I'm not responding to your chats. I can't see them. I actually changed my glasses and really thought I had the chat window up there, but unfortunately I don't, I guess. I mean, I have the chat window up there as far as in settings go, but what I don't think I did is put it in there correctly, even though one of the default inputs is for chat window. But I think what that does is that puts up the OBS chat window. But again, I'm not, and it's a learning experience, right? And so, but I guarantee you that the chat window that will be up there will have all of the chats in it from Facebook, Periscope, YouTube. Anything that anybody says, everyone else should be able to see. And with any luck, I will moderate and re-speak them appropriately. So, this is basically where Pattaya North Road effectively ends and Pattaya Beach Road begins. And it's nice. It's always been sort of one of those deals where, when I would land in Bangkok and I would come down here, I'd be like, oh, cool, I'm in Thailand, I'm in Bangkok. And then I would get into a cab and I'd be in a cab and I'd see things that were like only Thailand, right? Oh yeah, I'm back. And then I would come down this corner, that's another songthaew there. I would come down this corner and I would make that corner and I would turn and I would start coming down this road. And I would be like, another sigh of relief, another feel-good moment. I am at the beach. I am in Pattaya. So anyway, it's Mike from LiveMyAssOff.com saying I hope you're living the dream, because if you are not living the dream, you're doing it wrong. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Ciao.